Alright, hello and welcome back, Professor Layton in the Unwound Future. I'm going to assume, I checked the previous recording a bit, it looked fine, so I'm going to assume everything's good. And I'm going to keep on going. Last time we beat the toy car minigame. This time we'll do the picture book, because I high-key hate the parrot minigame, so let's complete picture book number 2. Right, what do we have to place? Luke, just boy. Because I think we got everything else in order, right? So that's it. Yep, we did it. Read the completed book. Like, that's all that was missing from this one. Oh, there's Flora, Rainy Day Cafe. I work in a little cafe. One day, the woman in charge stepped out, leaving me to run the shop. Before stepping out the door, the woman said to me, "I'm relying on you today. I'll be back as soon as I can." After the woman left, I noticed that a raincoat had been left on the counter. Oh no, the woman must have forgotten this, as I thought to myself. And come to think of it, I don't even know where the woman went. A little while later, a man arrived, the first customer of the day. "This rain is terrible. I'll have a coffee, please, a really hot one," the customer said, taking a window seat. I looked outside and saw that it had indeed started raining. The door flew open once again, and I could hear the sound of the rain on the pavement as the next customer came in. Gosh, it's just like they forecasted. The rain has chilled me to the bone. "I'll have a tea, please, but don't steep it for too long." The boy took a seat in a corner table. Since someone in charge was gone, I had to make a coffee for the customer by the window. I also had to make the tea that the other customer had ordered. However, I ran into a snag when I realized the milk bottle was gone. So I guess we are Flora in this story. The door opened again. Someone stepped inside. "Thank heavens, that must be the woman," I said. But when I turned around, I saw it was actually a traveler. This customer sat down by the counter. "I'm tired, but look at this mushroom I found in the forest. Was I lucky or what? Oh, right, my order. I'll have a cocoa, please." The traveler leaned over, put the mushroom on the counter, and said, "Isn't it a beauty? Thing's probably poisonous. You shouldn't be doing that." "It is, but I'll have to apologize because I can't make you a cocoa. The milk bottle's gone, you see," I said, deciding I had to be honest. "Oh, here my apology." The mustached man sitting with the window said, "I don't like my coffee black. One really needs to tip the milk bottle to make it palatable. One really needs to tip the milk bottle." That's an odd turn of phrase. The boy in the corner piped up as well. "Oops, didn't mean, sorry. You can read, whatever." Just then the door opened again. In stepped the woman. "Lots of customers today, eh? I'm glad you all came in here out of the rain. The rain. I'm turning ooh. I was so relieved to see the woman's pointy hat. Oh, my desk creaks loudly. "I can't find the milk bottle. I've looked everywhere," I said, causing the woman's eyes to grow as big as saucers. "What are you talking about? Didn't you hear me when I told you I was stepping out to get another milk bottle?" The old dear really was steamed, but she wasted no time in making everyone fresh hot drinks and a mushroom pie. The customers were all delighted, and I cheered up as well. Doesn't this story make you want to visit a cafe on a rainy day? Sure. Alright, and then we got this one. So what do we have to work with? We got all sorts of unpleasant people. And we got a cat, and a statue, and a watch, and a trowel or something, and a fork. Great, I don't know how we're going to differentiate between all the people. Well, man is dressed completely in blue, so it could be him. I guess you're not completely in blue. You got some brown pants. That not you. Well, I mean, it makes sense to be greeted by a butler as well, right? A valuable thing had disappeared from the mantelpiece. I mean, I guess we started by guessing it'd probably be a statue, right? According to the figurine who had invited me, is there not a space for the figurine in this? Okay, a boy whispered from the door, are you a boy? A young master. No one here. No good clues there. And this has got to be the cat, right? Sorry for clearing my voice. He's dropping something he was carrying. Oh. He's working in the garden, so it's got to be the trowel. That probably will be the watch, it sounds like. A silver. Oh. It was a little statue of a goddess. Alright, so that's that for sure. Trowel. Cat. Okay, so one of these is the watch, one of these is the fork. We can swap them here if we find a silver fork. That makes more sense than a watch, I think. Okay. Alright, any other clues? A woman entered the garden. Well, we only have one of those, so... Alright. Alright, which of these has spaces for people? Friend that invited me. I mean, context clues suggest it would be him, but there's no evidence in the... Okay, this is from his hat, so that's gotta be the chef. No direct clues there. Man in the blue trousers. I mean, they're all kind of blue. Okay. I think at this point we're going to, I don't see any other clues. Friend who invited me is going to be you, I think. Right? Just metagaming this a little. And then for these two, we can just guess. I will try swapping them. It could be the these two as well. Well, tutor. All right, so tutor's got to be the gardener's got to have the trowel. The tutor's got to be here, right? So that makes sense. Okay, I think, those two need to be swapped. Because the chef's looking for the fork. Fork belongs to the chef. I don't like the look on that guy's face. Okay. There we go. Let's read the completed book. I didn't actually read any of the pages, so this will be exciting to learn what this is about, the missing figurine. One day I received a request for help from an old friend of mine, the head of a venerable old family, so I headed over to the family mansion. At the entrance, I was met by a butler dressed completely in blue. According to the master who invited me, a valuable figurine had disappeared from the mantelpiece. As I was inspecting the scene, a young master whispered from the door, "Not many people come and go from the mansion. Someone who lives here must have hidden it." He asked me to follow him to the study, where he'd tell me the whole story. However, when we arrived at the study, someone was already there. "There you are, you little rascal," said the chef. "Oh, excuse me, didn't realize I had a guest." And the chef left the room. "Who was that?" I asked. "Can't you tell from his hat?" was the reply. "I wonder what he wanted." Across the room, we heard a large meow. "Oh," I exclaimed, "we're not alone." "That's right. My cat is the queen of the house," said the boy. "Oh, but I'd better get going. It's time for my study session with my tutor now. He's the one with the small mustache." I decided to investigate the dining room. Upon entering, I started the gardener inside, causing him to drop the watch he's carrying. "Oh, you must be a guest, but please don't sneak up on me like that." "Does that watch belong to you?" I asked. "No, it belongs to the young master. I found it while working in the gardens. I thought I'd return it to him." "So why did you come from the dining room?" "The young master has a voracious appetite, so he's often here looking for a bite to eat." I walked back to the hall to the big garden behind the house. There I encountered a tutor. Pointing at a trowel on the ground, he said to me, "I'm looking for the owner of this. He's the gardener in blue trousers." Soon after, a maid entered the garden and said to me, "No, so this is where you are. The master's been looking for you." Turning to the tutor, she said, "And as for you, it's time for the young master's lesson." A look of panic flitted across the tutor's face. "Oh my word, is it that time already?" The cat appeared with a meow. "Your paws are all muddy. Have you been out in the garden again?" scolded the maid. Turning to me, she said, "The family doesn't know, but she likes to dig holes in the garden and bury things there. She's like a dog." Next to the trail of muddy paw prints, a silver fork had been dropped. This belonged to the chef in the study. He lost it and was looking for it. I met up with the master and asked about the missing figurine. "Was it shiny?" I asked. "Oh, yes," he replied. "It was a little statue of a goddess. Really magnificent silverwork." I think I understand what happened here," I said. "My word, really? Jolly good. It's the cat, right? Is going to be the thing?" The master gathered everyone in the hall, and I started to explain the situation. After the figurine went missing, the gardener noticed that holes had been dug in the garden, and assumed the young master was making mischief. You see, the young master's watch was found next to the holes. The tutor also had suspicions. He found mud on the floor of the young master's study, which made him think something untoward had happened. Therefore, he went out into the garden to look for evidence. Had he taken a closer look, he would have seen that the muddy footprints belonged to the cat. But he can't tell the difference between footprints of a cat and a human? The chef also had suspicions, but it wasn't the valuable figurine that was concerning him, but rather the missing fork. He thought it had been taken away by the young master as a practical joke. He's always in the dining room, after all. The classic taking a fork prank. We all know that one. They're all awful. Everyone suspected me? I didn't hide the figurine, I didn't use the trowel, and I didn't take the fork without telling anyone either, said the young master angrily. You can tell he's angry with a big smile on his face. Now, calm down. There's another explanation that hasn't been considered. The young master looked around him. That's right, said the master kindly. Nobody here did anything wrong. Exactly, I said. The real criminal is over there. Cat? Meow, yep. Meow, said the cat. She seems to be fond of shiny things, like the silver figurine, watch, and silver fork. She hid them all in the garden. So that's what happened. Another puzzle solved, I said, smiling. That's the picture books. Alright, here's this weird old man. Remember him? Why are we getting all of our, stuff from weird old people? Anyways, that's 2 steps down. Next time we'll knock out the parrot thing, which I am not looking forward to. So, and after that we will be in the home stretch. So that's fun to think about. And then it's gonna be Silent Hill 3. So yeah. I don't know what to tell you. As always, thank you for watching.